Khabib Nurmagomedov absolutely humiliated drug addict, alcoholic, sexual predator Conor McGregor after Conor McGregor accused him of scamming his fans by selling an NFT that a lot of people bought based on exactly what it was advertised as. You can't make this up, but of course, all the anti-Muslim, the Muslim-hating fans have jumped on it like, man, Conor McGregor's based. Conor McGregor's based, bro. We're going to break it all down in this video, but let's just get right to the point of the video. Because right here, I'm kind of spitting facts, boys. This is really, I could end the video right after reading this tweet. This tweet really, truly sums up the entire situation. Let's be honest, the main reason there are so many anti-Muslim MMA fans is because Khabib brutalized McGregor back in 2018. The casual incels were devastated watching McGregor have his soul taken that night and simply never recovered. They resorted to screaming racist, xenophobic, and Islamophobic narratives at any Muslim fighter that has any success. This is what it all comes back to. Khabib Nurmagomedov obliterated Conor McGregor, made him tap, made him quit like a little bitch. He was the original Tom Aspinall, okay? Let me stop. Because he tapped out. He got obliterated. He got embarrassed. He got humiliated. And he had his career ended that night in 2018. And Conor McGregor still has that in his crawl. And a lot of Conor McGregor fans still have that in their crawl. So at any point in time, any narrative that they can warp against a Muslim fighter, and especially Khabib, they will take that opportunity to warp that narrative. I'm going to break it all down in this video. And I know I'm called, Joey's the Muslim grifter. Joey just loves the Muslims. He grifts the Muslims. No, I like to base my analysis on facts. I don't just like to make up shit based on fighters I like and do not like. And we're going to break it all down in this video because I'm so sick and tired of these fans. It drives me up a wall. They just make up dumb shit. They spew dumb shit. And the majority of the MMA community seems to agree with them. You have content creators out there shitting on Khabib as well with nonsensical statements. We're going to break that down in this video as well. Anyway, let's get to it. So before we get to anything, okay, Conor McGregor deleted all his tweets. So we have to look at championship rounds, but we're going to break down every tweet. Okay, we're going to get to every tweet that happened. But essentially what you have is Khabib Nurmagomedov advertised an NFT of his Popopka hat. He said, I am selling an NFT of my Popopka. Go buy it if you want. It's going on sale shortly, and you can use it on Telegram as an emoji, as like a profile picture, as a banner, and you can trade this NFT. Now, I know a lot of people are conflating this with some type of weird crypto scam, which we're going to touch on in this video as well. But what Khabib advertised and what he sold was exact. I mean, there's no, I've yet to see anyone point out to me where the actual scam was. Khabib offered a product, people bought the product, and then the Muslim hating, Khabib hating, Dagestani hating fans and Conor McGregor, the civilly liable sexual assaulter and sexual predator, is saying, oh, this was a scam with no actual logic. No actual logic. People say, Joey, you're just defending Khabib because he's Muslim. You're grifting to the Muslim fans. They will not provide anything. They will never provide anything because it does not exist. It does not exist. So one last thing I'll tell you before we get to the tweets. Essentially, this entire thing stems from Khabib posted a link where you can buy the NFT. And at the end of the sale, he deleted that link because it was no longer for sale. And he posted a new post that thanked everyone for buying the NFT who participated. So essentially, Conor's trying to write the narrative of Khabib is deleting the evidence of his scam, even though there's not a single factor in this entire discussion that says it was a scam. So just to give you all that information. Anyway, let's jump to this. Oh, wait, we can't look at Conor's Twitter because Conor has me blocked, but he also deleted all the tweets because that's what he likes to do because he's kind of a bitch. That's what he likes to do. He likes to drum up drama and then delete all his tweets. But anyway, Championship Rounds has collected it all. This was Conor's initial post. There is no way good guy Khabib used his late father's name as well as Dagestani culture to scam his fans and fire sell a bunch of digital NFTs online and then delete all of the content after they were sold, leaving his fans robbed of their money. There is no way a good guy do this. How do I even unpack that? First off, do you ever notice a lot of the times they really have nothing on these Dagestani guys? So it's always a way that they try to attack their culture. They try to attack their religion. In this case, he's trying to attack Khabib's late father by saying it's a scam because he advertised where to buy it. And then when he was done, he deleted that link and posted a link saying thank you to everyone who did participate and did buy it. I'm still not quite sure how that's a scam, but we'll continue. We'll continue. Khabib responded and already humiliated him here. And this is where a lot of people are criticizing Khabib, but I'll explain why I believe Khabib said what he did. You absolute liar. You will always try to darken my name after you got destroyed that night, but you will never achieve that. Yes, good guys don't do that. This is 100% facts. That's why I started the video with it. Conor is salty that Khabib essentially ended his career in 2018 and humiliated him in front of all the fans at UFC 229. And that's really where all this bitterness and pettiness comes from for Conor McGregor, because his life has been in a downward spiral since then, and he blames it all on Khabib. He blames where his career is at because of Khabib. And Conor's legacy and his name is so in the mud, is so in the dirt, is so in the porta potty that he's trying to drag Khabib down with him. And that this is his attempt at doing it. And Khabib is smart enough to know. Now, the second part of the tweet. They don't create exclusive digital gifts with real-time value that you can share with your friends and family. Gifts in the shape of papapka hats that symbolize tradition and culture of Dagestan people. Traditions and cultures that slowly walking over this world, whether you like it or not. Gifts that you find exclusively on Telegram, greatest messaging platform on the world. Now, a lot of people are criticizing the second half of this message, and I actually don't think there's anything to criticize there. I understand that it reads a bit cringe, but this entire NFT sale that Khabib did was in partnership with Telegram. So essentially, you have Conor McGregor shitting all over Khabib, but dragging down Telegram with it. And Telegram's a big company. I'm sure they'll be fine. But this is Khabib's way of saying, look, I'm going to tweet something out. I'm going to defend you. I'm going to make it all look better, and this tweet's going to get a lot of attention as well, rather than just let Conor dog essentially the sponsorship that Khabib had with no real defense from Khabib as Conor tries to bash the brand that he worked with. I understand it sounds kind of cringe and it sounds kind of scripted and somebody probably wrote it for him. But if this is your criticism, that he's saying, oh, this was something you can find exclusively on Telegram, give me a break. I mean, this is all you have on these guys. I mean, it's just an absolute joke. Well, anyway, Conor responded and said, apologize this instant for using your late father's name to sell those quote-unquote gifts that cost your fans so much money. Also, to sell something means it's not a gift, you low IQ. I forgot how to pronounce this word. That is the direct opposite of what gift means. Duh, dumbass, ha, ha, ha. Scamming on your dead daddy's name. Shame. This guy is a complete piece of shit. To consistently bring up someone's dead father because he whooped you over 7 years ago is an absolute disgrace. It really is. And he's like, you cost your fans so much money. People willingly bought these NFTs. You can sit back and say, a digital papapka, that's fucking stupid. But that's not your money. People had the free will. They were not bamboozled. They were not tricked. And there's no evidence. There's not a single shred of evidence to prove that Khabib intentionally deceived anyone or deceived anyone, period. Let me make that very clear. There is zero evidence that anyone who bought this NFT was deceived. So how in any way, shape, or form is this a scam? Makes absolutely no sense. Well, anyway, Khabib responded and said, my count is 56 former drug addicts at my rehabilitation center in Dagestan that I treated. Come to Dagestan, act Notorious MMA. They'll take care of you here. Mexico didn't help you as far as I can see. Because obviously Conor's still on drugs. Conor said, I went to Mexico. I did this hallucination thing and I found God and I met Jesus. I mean, I'm waiting for the next accusation to come out. That's where Conor's entire life is completely down the drain. And you have fans acting like it's not because Conor has money. These people think money is everything, and it's simply not. And Khabib really hit him where it hurts here because Conor he's kind of an embarrassment to his family. And I do believe Conor has a disease, but I do also believe that Conor is a complete piece of shit. And Khabib should say this. And Khabib did open some drug rehabilitation centers in Dagestan with some of that money that he's making off of doing some of these promotions. And Conor responds and says, and who will I be meeting there? Because it won't be you. You can't scam me with your lies, you tax dodging scammer on the run. Your poor family, I pray. I pray for your constant lies. I pray while you lie. You should just be honest because Allah knows all. This just truly shows where Conor McGregor and a lot of these fans lie, because you notice it's always some underlying message about how you're an embarrassment to your religion. It's always something to degrade the religion. It's always something to degrade where they're from. Like, I believe this is an Abu Dhabi flag and like a running man, like you ran to Abu Dhabi or some shit like that, because it always has to be, they don't have anything else. Khabib's not out graping up a storm. Conor is. Khabib's not out cheating on his wife who's 9 months pregnant. Conor is. So instead, Conor has to say, you embarrassed your late father by selling an NFT and advertising it accurately and some fans choosing to buy it, and you made money off of it. And then you ended the auction afterwards. It really is insane to me. And I think one of the main problems is people are conflating this with not an NFT scam, with a crypto scam, which I think is a whole nother topic. But essentially in the crypto scams, you have someone start a crypto coin. They own the large percentage of them. They have celebrities hype them up on social media. They've released the other portion of them. All the fans buy it, driving up the price. And then the celebrity then rug pulls and sells their portions, making the price just absolutely plummet. Meanwhile, they got out with a bag. Now, we can have a discussion about whether or not that is a scam. But at this point, I got to be honest, and maybe this is a bit of a hot take. If you're buying a celebrity's crypto, it's at this point, it's to be expected. I don't understand, why are we even calling this a scam anymore? Now, that is far more of a scam than what Khabib did here. But if you want to go back to some of the crypto incidents that Khabib was related in, I guess you should talk about what Conor did. Because if we're conflating the two things, selling an NFT exactly as advertised, and we're conflating that with a crypto scam, let's not forget. Okay? Because Conor, and we're not going to go through all this, Conor hyped up a crypto coin, and then he rug pulled that crypto coin. So he did exactly what I just talked about. But again, people are dumb enough to buy a celebrity's crypto coin, let alone a rapist's crypto coin. It's kind of their own fault. It's kind of their own fault. Like, what are we even talking about? But again, if that's what you want to harp on, then Conor doesn't have the moral high ground there. But for some reason, people are acting like he does. It just drives me nuts. And there's people here. There's fans of Conor McGregor. There's cult-like followers of Conor McGregor. Like, yeah, man, Conor's so based, man. Conor knows what he's doing, man. He's calling him out. That's why I tweeted this. And this would really kind of sum up the entire situation. Conor McGregor is literally out there raping people while his wife sits at home, 9 months pregnant, but he's demonizing Khabib for selling an NFT. Could I put it any more plainly? This man was found civilly liable for sexual assault. Don't believe me? Take ESPN's word for it. A jury of his peers found it was more than likely Nikita Hand's version of events was true. That's the reality. That's the reality. So we're going to sit here and be like, oh yes, Conor, thank you for calling him out. Thank you so much for calling him out. This is the man you're hyping up here. But these same people don't criticize Conor for this. They defend him. They're like, she's a liar. She's a liar. Well, the jury thinks otherwise. The jury who heard every piece of evidence thinks otherwise. But you still have fans defending him. You still have content creators defending him as well. But they have no facts to back it up. They have nothing to back it up with. And that's what this guy's doing. This guy, Wade, I remember seeing an interview he did with Dana a while back. He's a content creator. Here he is reposting Khabib's message. The auction has ended and all the Popopkas have been sold. Appreciate everyone who participated in it and become a holder of the great and exclusive digital gift with value that you can share with your friends and loved ones. Again, you can say, oh, you don't like the advertisement jargon. He never misrepresented anything. And you have this dude. I don't mean to be insensitive, but if you bought a pixel image of a hat, it has no value. And you can screenshot the same image and recreate it for free. You got scammed. I really can't understand how fucking stupid these people are. If you want to say, I think it was dumb you bought something like this, that is fair enough. But to act like it's a scam, you don't know what the word scam means then. You really don't. You don't know what the word scam means then. Because nowhere, in no way, shape, or form did Conor or did Khabib misrepresent anything that he was selling. And that's exactly what I tweeted out here. My question for fucking idiots like this, if you bought a digital hat because you wanted to buy a digital hat, you got exactly what you paid for. How is that in any way a scam? Imagine saying somebody was scammed for getting what they bought, but you think it's stupid and don't like the fighter that's selling it. I don't think I could have put it any clearer. And this guy responded and said, oh, Bizarro MMA Guru has arrived. I guess he means MMA YouTuber who isn't an incel that sits at home all day like a little bitch, okay? And I already broke him and made him quit, okay? But that's besides the point. Khabib used his reputation of his family and his father to push an essentially a valueless emoji that he claimed was like owning a Popopka. Like, think about this. You guys tell me if I'm crazy. Read this sentence right here and tell me how this makes any sense at all. Essentially a valueless emoji that he claimed was like owning a Popopka. Is this dude trying to say that Khabib misled people into thinking a digital emoji would be the same as an actual real world hat? Is that what he's trying to say here? Makes absolutely no sense. They put them up for auction so his fans would drive up the cost of them artificially. How are the fans artificially driving up the cost if they're buying it? It makes no sense. Now, this is one of the many scam shill jobs Khabib has promoted. Care to dig deeper? Apparently you don't. Apparently you don't. This makes no sense. Let me summarize this. Khabib put an NFT up for auction and people who like Khabib bought that NFT. I mean, that's the synopsis. Again, make it make sense. Nobody in the comments will be able to make it make sense because this is not based on reality. This is not based on facts. This is based on an axe to grind for a multitude of reasons. One of them being Khabib took Conor's soul years ago and the fans have never recovered and they hate Muslim fighters because of it. And I will continue to call it out. I don't care. And I responded. So Khabib advertised something and people bought exactly what he advertised. It amazes me people are so brain dead. They literally research nothing and just spew nonsense. Just because you think buying an NFT is valueless, I agree, doesn't make it a scam. Google what the word scam means. And then we got Big Ank. We got Big Ank in the building. Thank you, Big Ank. Auction raised $4.4 million in hours. Fans got verifiable ton blockchain assets, no rug pull or undelivered promises. Khabib called it digital gifts with real value and buyers agreed. Joey cooked you with this information. Joey cooked you. It's informed buying, not fraud. Why cape for McGregor amid his own scam accusations? I don't cope for McGregor, I guess. It's just crazy. These guys have no idea what they're talking about. The MMA media, the MMA content creator landscape is absolutely brain dead. It is brain dead. And we'll end with this. We'll end with this. And I'll just ask you guys this question. Can anybody find me a single person who bought the Khabib NFT who is claiming they have been scammed? Can anyone show me a single shred of evidence Khabib misrepresenting what he was selling? The answer to both those questions are no. We get it. You hate Muslims. And that's it. I mean, that's it. What else am I supposed to say? People are going to say I'm grifting for him. It's a made up narrative. Purely based on who Khabib is. They don't care when Conor's out doing this with his wife sitting at home 9 months pregnant. They do not care. They only look at Khabib. They see where he's from and they see his religion and they remember what he did to Conor McGregor on that fateful night. Matter of fact, let me actually pull this up real quick. I have another banger tweet that I should have had in this video. And they just cry about it. That's it. That's the reality of it. Let me see if I can find it real quick. Let me scroll down. Yeah. Just got an exclusive look at Khabib's next NFT. I was able to put in an early pre-order. I have a feeling this one's going to be very popular. I just made all that up, but this is just an AI generated. This is what it all comes down to, guys. They've never gotten over this. They are still butthurt. Conor is still butthurt. So they have to be disgraceful. They have to stoop to low levels to make up fake narratives to try to disgrace his name. And luckily, Khabib called it out. He acknowledged it, and he embarrassed Conor McGregor for being the low-life piece of shit that he is. But it's just sad to me. A lot of fans co-sign this. It's sad to me that you got content creators saying, oh, it's definitely a scam. I mean, it's definitely a scam. You can screenshot it. Just because you don't, I mean, I get scammed every time I buy a pay-per-view with Sean Strickland main eventing. I got scammed early this year in February. What was that, $298? No, that wasn't $298. They fought at $297, but that was last year. $312? I got scammed at $312. I feel like, you know, buying UFC pay-per-views is it's kind of dumb half the time. Most people don't, honestly, anymore because they think it's a scam. But to call this a scam because he advertised a product, Khabib advertised a product in partnership with Telegram and then sold that product to people who were then happy with that product, regardless of what you think about it. To call that a scam just goes to show the type of hate you have in your heart and how low IQ you are, because if you actually believe it. I wanted to break this down because it was actually driving me nuts seeing people on Twitter talk about this. I know, Joey the contrarian, Joey this, Joey that. I don't give a rat's ass. I will always base my analysis on the facts of a situation. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, and thank you so much for watching.